Hi everyone. I know it's been a week or two, but I'm back to make a couple of videos. Um, miss you all. I hope you're all well. It's been really hot and muggy here in Phoenix, real uncomfortable time of the summer. Looking forward for it ending soon. Got another month or two to go yet. But anyhow, I'm not here to talk about the weather. Um, let's see. Just really wanted to say hi to everyone and I've been watching a lot of the girls here recently, and some of my favorite girls seem to have really slowed down on producing videos. Unfortunately, because I enjoy watching them so much. But maybe they're just busy with their lives and things going on, and they'll resume at another time, I'm sure. Hopefully. But this past week, I've been watching some videos from Trending Star Galactica, which many of you may be familiar. They're wonderful. You know, they have some great hosts and people sharing their topics, and things get pretty interesting most of the time. But this week they were discussing a topic that's important to all of us. Um, at different times, but mostly at that critical time of beginning our transitions and helping us, or one of the decisive reasons we do or do not begin our transition. The topic is, would you still transition or move forward with transition if you knew that the outcome was you would never be a passable female? Well, we all share this challenge, don't we? Um, Definitely. I mean, I think we've all thought about that. I know I have, and gave it more than extensive thought and went into it before I made that all-important decision. I discussed it quite a bit, actually, in therapy. Um, I was there for some time, and it took me a long time. I've lived in denial for so many years with my personality issues, but um, I did make that decision to move forward, and I did make it based on the premises I would move forward with transition regardless of ever becoming a passable female or not. Uh, do I want to become a passable female? Yes. Do all transsexuals want to become that? I would have to say no. I don't think that they all transition for that particular reason, and I know that's not what the topic is about either. But there's just such an individualistic um, goal, if you want to call it that, or for some that know that they need to continue with some sort of transition, or maybe it's all different levels for all of us, just depending on where we are and who we are. I mean, it's such a personal call. But still, would you move forward transition if you knew you would never? Well, I'm sure you girls look at me and go, honey, you do not pass, so don't think a moment you do. I didn't say I did. I hope to one day achieve that, but I know that's going to take some extensive surgical procedures. You know, I've had assessments done. I'm doing footwork for many things. I'm only 11 months into my transition, or into my hormones. I can't say that about transition, but with medically assisted transition, I'll say. At any rate, you know, the road looks bumpy for me, of course. I don't have that magic wand, and I'm not blessed with natural anatomical features and things to help me just simply become passable, um, it creates a lot of depression, or can, within, knowing that I may or may not ever achieve that. I'm going to refer to a book because this subject kind of makes me think about it, because I've done some positive mental attitude reading over the years, and I found it pretty useful. And something like this, I think it really there's it really is useful. And the book was titled, this particular book is titled, "As a Man Thinketh, So Is He." Well, as a woman thinketh, so is she. The way I would like to title that book now, but actually it's a very spiritual book, if I recall. It's been some time ago since I read it, but it's really about the belief and the manifestation of our thoughts, the things that begin in our mind, and then our bodies follow. And we have to believe that as transsexuals. We have this gender identity dysphoria, and that is it. That is the mental terminology. Yes, they have to give us a stigma, right, to make all this possible for us. But they give us this stigma, this tattoo, wherever, that we have this dysphoria, or freaks, or mentally handicapped, aren't we? Huh. I think so many of us are so highly functional, I think it's beyond some of their realms. But more importantly, again, that dysphoria is in the mind. And however we just dispose of or correct that dysphoria is really important. And it doesn't mean that we have to transition, or that we have to become a passable female. That's an individual thing. I think for everyone, on many different levels, that we all know that is the real factor. Because not all transsexuals transition. Not all transsexuals ever become passable females. Nor do they need to, some of them. It's be yourself and be who you are, more importantly. Believe in who you are, and I think these are the kinds of positive things that help us in our journeys, or just help us to cope with the issues in our lives, probably more importantly. So, that subject, would you still transition if you knew the outcome was you were never going to be a passable female? Well, I did make that decision, and I was aware of that fact, that there's a likelihood that may never happen for me, given the obstacles I was facing. Mainly my age, secondly, my resources. The list really goes on and on and on, and I'm not going to sit here and recite it, because it only depresses me to think about it, because that is something I want to do. In the next video, I want to elaborate a little bit on some other correlations that really have a lot to do with, for me anyway, and what I see in other girls has a lot to do with if they even have the mentality to want to become passable females, because not all transsexuals do. They're perfectly happy or content with who they are as an individual, and only treat themselves, or move forward in transition as far as they need to find the acceptance of themselves. So I'm going to end this video and start another one, because I need to add a lot to this subject. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks. I hope you watch the next video. Bye.